Facebook. And I have a special guest tonight. You're going to have to, I don't want to butcher your last name. People always mess up my name, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, my name is Amy Yoshitsu.
Yoshitsu.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
And can you tell us what you do on your website and that type of thing?
Yeah, so what I do is I do UI, UX, that's user interface and user experience design, and also web design and graphic design and just everything in the realm of design mostly, and also art. And so my website is amyyoshitsu.com.
And she has a garden in her backyard, and she makes the best salads and artisanal cocktails, and what a treasure to have met you in the Bay Area. Thank you so much. So my name is Misia Denea. I'm the owner and founder of HafaHolistic.com, and which is a wellness company, a body positive wellness company. And I also have Healing Space Solutions as a digital marketing consulting agency, and that is healingspacesolutions.com. So what I like to do is, the Bay Area is very rich with creatives and startups and entrepreneurs and small businesses, and there's just, a wealth of talent out there, and I've been trying to get Amy and I together for podcast for a while. So here it is, January 2019, new year, new us. And can we just start with a simple question? What is product design? Like, what is that?
Yeah, so basically it involves the flows and the interactions and also the way a product looks. So we're talking about software, or we can talk about web apps, we can talk about mobile apps, and it's all of the design process. So we're the ones who give the developers what it looks and how it works. Yeah, and we talked also then about user research. So we also find out about our users and what they want, and not necessarily what they want, but what works for them. Even if they can't articulate it, it's our job to translate what they need into what the product would be.
That's nice. When I was doing the Optima Business Bootcamp Accelerator, which I highly recommend, Ronnie Crozier runs that, and the 8 Factors Accelerator with Michael Bush. The first thing an entrepreneur needs to know is what problem they're solving.
Exactly.
So having someone like you on a small business or medium business or large business startup team is great. So do you feel like there's any design trends for 2019, or is that kind of like too cliche?
I don't know. I mean, it's still like pretty the minimal design. It's still definitely very in. I think I still have clients who say, I want my website to look like Apple. And I'm like, okay, well, it takes a lot more work than you think it does. I actually learned, I didn't learn this, that the products on their websites, they pay someone a lot of money to render those. Those are not photos. And so to make something look that beautiful takes a lot of work that, you can't see the work, and that's what makes it so great. But in terms of new trends, I don't necessarily know what's going to come. I kind of hope what comes is maybe like a bringing back of some retro designs, even pre-cyber era, and making those new. Like, that's kind of what I hope we see soon.
Beautiful. Well, you mentioned already mobile, desktop app. Is there like a real difference between if you were working with clients, how you would approach desktop, mobile app, web, and so on and so forth?
There absolutely is, especially in software design as opposed to like what we call apps. Like, apps are much smaller, and usually that term is designated for your phone. And I have worked with enterprise companies, and those are mostly desktop apps, and we don't approach them as just 2 different sizes of the same thing. Like, they have different functions. When people are on the go, they want to do certain things, and when people are at their desk, they want to do much more detailed work, and the big screen allows for that, and we really plan out those 2 experiences very differently.
Awesome. Next question. What is your favorite design product? Do you have one or several?
Like tools?
Anything. Yeah, whatever that question means to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally really interested in design tools, and that's kind of what I'm working on a little bit right now. I love anything like Envision. I think that both they're a great product, and they also provide a lot to the community, and that's what they're trying to do. And I also love products like Sketch. They're becoming a competitor and alternative to Adobe, and they're very simple to use and much more affordable and much more a lot of new companies that are fighting the big companies but winning actually.
Cool. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
And how do you solve design problems with design? And that question could be answered many ways. But if an entrepreneur or business came up to you and they're like, I've got the same logo, or like, I'm in the middle of rebranding. Like, what are some of the key things that you're looking to do when someone's, faces that type of problem with their brand?
Oh yeah, I get that all the time.
Okay.
I'm a designer who believes in content first. So let's get to the meaning. Let's get to the meaning of what is your vision, what is your product, what do you want to express, and hopefully have your customers immediately know. And so I'm gonna, if I have all the budget and the time in the world, I'm gonna go back and start researching like your company and also the things that have happened before your company, and like what your company name is and why it's named that, and then create a visual that reflects that. So that's really important to be content first.
Yeah. And you sounds like you have an artistic approach to what you do also.
I do, yeah. I mean, I definitely like to marry the technical, and when I mean technical, I mean the content and like the meaning and the, as you say, radical, like the base part, and then marry that with an aesthetic that, I have a very, a more contemporary aesthetic, but I am flexible and want it to be what is right for the product, not necessarily just like all about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what is a good design process like? So when you're starting with a client, what is like the time frame like? I mean, I'm sure that varies from client to client, but what would it look from A to Z?
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to content, the first thing is show me all your content. Tell me what you want and what you think your users want. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult to, depending on who, the point person is, to get beyond what their personal aesthetics and their personal tastes are and what is right for their customer and what is right for their product. So I really want to separate those out and figure out what's right for them to move forward in their business. So that's the first step. And then building content would involve hopefully having a writer as a partner and someone who really knows how to articulate that in words, and us marrying the written content and the visual content. And then just starting to do iterations and getting feedback, and the more voices you have, the better. And I don't want it to be a design by committee, but I do think it's important to have multiple perspectives. And sometimes people can have, they just don't notice something that another person could. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure it represents the user, the customer, and also, is good for the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I think I have one more question left. No, I asked all the questions. So, yeah, that sounds amazing. So I don't know if you have any last takeaway kind of advice for somebody that either is starting out, or, maybe there's, a company or an executive out there that's looking for somebody that has your services. But is there anything else that you want to share before we close?
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, you're starting your own business, you're starting your own design business, you want to know how do I get into design, or even how you get into development, I would love to give people advice. And I would love to give people of all genders and people of all races and get more diversity involved. That's something that's really important to me. And also something that I personally, I want to say it's a battle, something that I always support in my work, no matter who I'm working with, is saying, hey, I think we need to include this world perspective. Because I notice that sometimes, especially in tech, how I see the world is not represented, and I want to make sure I'm not continuing that cycle. And so I have those tough conversations with my bosses about, this maybe could be not just offensive, but also exclusionary and all those things. And so if you're also battling that, I've talked to a lot of people who have battled that, and so I would love to talk to more people, and I'm happy to give advice and listen, and just, make the people who are making a good amount of money, if there could be more people in the Bay who need that, I would love to be part of anyone's journey in that.
Great. So I know you're on LinkedIn. Do you have any other social media profiles? Or
I just have Facebook, but I'm really not active on it. So yeah, if you hit me up on LinkedIn, look at my emails on my website.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. And happy New Year to you and all your viewers.
I actually have something for you.
Aww.
I got you a little succulent.
Thank you. Oh, I love that.
So you can add this to your
my collection.
Your collection.
Oh, thank you so much.
And thank you so much. We'll be back in February with another guest. And if you have any questions for me, you can send me an email at healingspace.solutions@gmail.com. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. I just lied to you. healingspacemarketing@gmail.com. And have a great new year. And we'll see you guys soon. Ciao.